I'm sure, right? And then you made mention of the Buhari administration not achieving anything. To tell you the simple truth, let's develop this patriotic spirit. Where we are now, a lot of things happened, a lot of things attracted, a lot of things helped in where we are now. And what we have to understand, there are factors that try to pull down our expectations from the government, but the government stood solidly. The presidential infrastructure development fund that was used to actualize the Abuja to Ibadan Railway, the Lagos, these are projects that are not there. We enabled all those things. A lot of them. And when it comes to agriculture, we are now, you talked about that we are importing. No, we are now exporting rice. We are the largest in Africa.
Exporting rice?
We are exporting rice. We are exporting rice now. Nasarawa is exporting yam. A lot of things we need to read. We don't want to read. We are believing the hate speech and the fake news being circulated because they have the retweet, the likes, it's going viral. And though another thing that contributed to this is that some institutions, mainstream media, bloggers have succeeded in undermining the success of this administration. So they don't want the success out there. I remember in Imo when Buhari was there, he said they don't want to talk about what he's doing, but let him say it. So we have Nigerians themselves that don't want this country to grow, and they are using hate speech and fake news. That is what we should shun and make sure it did not continue. Everybody must come on board. Let's stop this. And you know, it's more prevalent with the electioneering process. So each political party is trying to bring down each other. With everybody's digging the lies, the propagandas, they're bringing it out to pull down. But definitely the people know the truth. And at the end of the day, the truth will prevail. And at the end of the day, the progressive government will continue because we have the interests of our people in mind and we are putting so much hard work to actualize it. If only Labour Party will understand it. Labour Party, in Anambra, we know the P2B roads and the Ngige roads. The P2B roads are washed away roads. The antecedent, the track record he has, he attests to it that these are little efforts. So we cannot hand over their affairs because when we check what you did previously and yes, your antecedent and trying to understand the economy handing it over to you, of course we are heading to a journey of no return. It's going to be disastrous. It's going to be disastrous. So he has to go back to the drawing board, equip himself. I'm not against P2B ambition to become a president. It's a good interest, it's a good ambition, but he has to go back and form himself and have a formidable structure to come and contest. And this is what Tinubu enabled in the last 30 years. What is speaking for Tinubu now is not only him. What is speaking for Tinubu is his antecedent, his track record, the people he built, the project he enabled.
Ms. Chidima,
yeah.
Are you now saying that for any person to attain the height of the president of this country, he must have a structure, however weak? Is that what you're saying?
You must have it. When it comes to structure, see, the simple truth is if P2B had, after governing Anambra for 8 years, went back to build Apoga, or even if he entered a PDP or stayed in PDP to enable governors, people coming out to contest the governor and they win, senators.
He now says like the Godfather.
It's not Godfatherism. It's not Godfatherism. Somebody must be the driver. It's not a cartel. It's not a cartel. You must be the driver that will drive. You must give the directions.
Even when you are not right, you can give directions.
No, you have to. Anybody that is giving direction, that is an administrator, that is managing something, has the right mindset, has something upset. So it takes a lot to do that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chidima. Yes, sir. Barrister Ken, she has talked about structures. And that is one of the reasons for one of the hate speeches we have all around and fake news, like you said. She said if you want to attain the height of a president, you should have structures. And formidable structures are that. And she has said that the Labour Party has no structure and is just building on without foundation,
on a quicksand,
so to say. Yes. So
okay, I will come to address that, but there is something I need to talk about before it eludes me. You see, Tinubu is not campaigning on Buhari's records, and are you not surprised? It is one party, it's APC. Buhari
We
is
are.
exiting.
Did you not see Buhari in just yesterday?
Buhari is exiting power.
We are.
He spoke about that.
Buhari
on
is
Justice.
exiting power. Tinubu is about to take over.
From the same
Ordinarily,
party.
you will expect that Tinubu should be campaigning on Buhari's records, right?
Yes.
On the records of the
Yes.
the party,
antecedents.
the records of the party. But he keeps referring us back to Lagos. She even referred us back to Lagos. She keeps Tinubu keeps
That
telling
was
us.
as regards to his
Tinubu
antecedents.
keeps
We're talking about the
telling us,
personality
"I
of
did this in
Asiwaju
Lagos.
and what he did.
I did this in Lagos."
Yeah.
He is refusing to say we as APC did this at the national level
the
because they
stats
didn't do
are
anything.
there. They are
Um,
there. We
let's
are campaigning
conclude.
with the
Excuse me,
APC
please let him
track
conclude.
records.
Let him conclude.
You see, they keep telling us we did this in Lagos, we did this in Lagos. They are refusing to say what they have done as a party for 7 years plus. Now, let's go back to the Lagos where Tinubu keeps touting what he did in Lagos. You know, Lagos is today, by Global Livable Cities Index, is the second most unlivable city on the planet Earth today. This is not Ken Asawa's.
Is that as a
This is not my rating.
Is that
This
as
is
a
not
result of
my
structures
statistics.
or
No,
the climate?
look, there is something they use in rating livable cities. You talk about access to healthcare, access to pipe-borne water, access to good road. Lagos does not have pipe-borne water. Lagos State generates between 38 billion to 42 billion naira every month. There is no pipe-borne water in Tinubu's Lagos. Everywhere in Lagos, once it rains, there is no drainage system in Lagos.
I hope this is not fake news.
It's fake news because
I'm telling you what
it's
is out
fake
there in
news,
public
pure
domain.
fake news.
We all travel
Lagos
to
is the
Lagos.
fourth
There is
leading
no
economy
drainage
in West
system.
in Africa.
Do you know?
No, he's
Do
talking
you
about
know?
livable
Do you
city.
know?
And
It's
he's
Do
talking
livable.
about
you know?
It's livable
Do you
because
know?
you have
Please
you,
hold
you
on.
have
Do
to
you
have
know that
for
this
you
is
to
sold
become
out?
the fourth leading
eh,
economy. You
do
must
you
be a
know-
livable
supporters
city.
are watching.
How
You
can
see,
you
this
say
is
that?
intimidation. You know, that is how they keep intimidating us.
It's
This
not
APC
intimidation.
people.
I'm buttressing
She's not
the
allowing me
point.
to talk. You know, Banana Island is the most expensive place in Lagos. This flood that just finished the other day, I don't know whether you guys saw it. I have a video clip on it on my phone. Everywhere in Banana Island got flooded. Places where they buy houses for 2 billion, 1.5 billion. Such expensive place. You spend that kind of money to buy a house, it gets flooded. CNN called Lagos State the most expensive slum in the entire world.
Wow, slum.
You understand? That is Tinubu's Lagos. That is what he's presenting to us as a place where, look, let me tell you, Ikoyi in Lagos State remains the most beautiful part of Lagos State. And that was created by the white man.
Let's go to structure.
Now, coming to that, Ikoyi as a district in Lagos was built by the white people. So, since Tinubu and his band of gang of treasury looters took over Lagos since 23 years ago, they have not created any district in Lagos that can measure up to that Ikoyi that was created by the white men. Now, coming to structure, you see, my presidential candidate has consistently told Nigerians that they said that his structure is Nigerian people.
Before the structure,
Let me come. You know, you asked me to come to structure.
You know, we've been
I
to
will come
Lagos.
to. No,
Let's go to Anambra.
you asked me about structure. I'm dealing with structure now. You're taking me to Anambra.
Of course,
Allow
when
me
I asked
finish
you about
structure
structure,
now.
you dealt with Lagos.
So now I'm
Yeah.
asking
No,
for
I need to
Anambra.
finish this issue of structure.
Okay.
You see, he has consistently said that the Nigerian people who have suffered the brunt of misgovernance in Nigeria, they are his structure. He has consistently said that the kind of structure they are expecting him to have is a corruption-ridden structure. Where has that structure taken Nigeria to since 1999? So some people don't even understand that this movement, Peter Obi's campaign, is a movement. So they are still beholden to the past structure. You will have a PDP chairman or APC chairman at the state level. Then you have the APC vice. Then you build it to the grassroots.
That's not the
Look,
structure.
what
I'm
is going on
referring
now
to.
is
I
a
narrowed down the
revolution.
kind of
Let's-
structure.
let's-
A revolution is coming to Nigeria, and people in a peaceful manner. And people are still talking about structure. On election day, the 100 million Nigerians who are multidimensionally poor will file out on the street and ensure that the votes of Labour Party will be protected. So if they are thinking of structure, how do you protect your votes? We will protect it. The hungry people on the streets, the 19.5 million Nigerians who are out of school will ensure that those votes count. So anybody who is thinking about structure, except they don't want to have election, this election is already won and lost. And we know the winner. We know the loser. You know, so let them not blackmail us. Structure. You know, where has the structure taken us to? Structure of looting, of plundering our commonwealth.
Barrister, let's go
So-
to
So Anambra, I don't know what you want me
No,
to talk about in
can I
Anambra.
address-
I don't.
can I
I
want
don't
to
want
he
buttress
has
some
talked
points.
about. He has
I'm
ad-
coming to the structure because
Yes.
Barrister, it looks like the agenda of the obedient movement is just the presidency. Do you understand
Chidinma, please,
that the
let's
geographical
address-
spread of
let's
a political
balance-
party is a
let's-
constitutional requirement?
let's balance
If you win
it.
the president, definitely you will head to court
Let's-
and you're going
let's
to be
balance it.
impeached. When
Let's
you don't
balance
have your
it.
majority in the Senate and the rep, do you understand? When I'm talking of
Let's
structure, it's not
balance
about
it.
the state chairman of the political party. We are talking about
Chidinma,
the ward.
please, let's-
No, I'm
I'm
talking
still
about.
coming to you.
Okay.
I want us to balance it. He has talked about Tinubu's Lagos.
Yeah, of course.
Let's
we
go to
Anambra.
Obi's Anambra.
Thank you.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Can
What
I
is
come
Obi's
in?
Anambra doing? Let him explain to
Okay.
us, then you can come in.
Okay.
Yes.
You're asking me about what
What
Obi
has become
left.
of Obi's Anambra?
Obi's Anambra.
Yes.
Okay, now I will come to tell you what has become of Obi's Anambra, and I will juxtapose two things here. People fail to understand that Lagos was the federal capital of Nigeria. So people keep saying, you see beautiful how Lagos is. And Lagos was, look, as far back as 1866 was when the white man started building Lagos. 1866. You understand? They started building Lagos in 18. So, and they handed it until they handed it over to Nigeria in 1960 when we got independence. So let nobody deceive you by thinking they want to compare. And I heard the other man saying, but Obi lives in Lagos. Why is he not living in his Anambra? Lagos was developed by the white man, developed by Nigerian government as federal capital of Nigeria.
We are not comparing.
So they have not built any. So now,
We're not
so
comparing.
no, I need to disabuse your mind, not that, so that when I come to Anambra, don't be comparing it. That
No,
We are
if
not
you don't-
comparing.
that
We
if
are
you have
checking
Ikoyi,
the
that if you have
record of
Ikoyi in
Obi.
Lagos,
What did
if you have
in
Ikoyi in
Anambra?
Oka,
What
We are
did he
checking
leave
the
behind? What did he
Thank you.
leave behind?
Obi
in
left
Anambra?
$150 million in the coffers of Anambra State. The only governor, look, he paid 33 billion naira in gratuity and pension. No state has ever done it in Nigeria. There is no state, including Rivers State, that earns highest in Nigeria, is owing pensions and gratuity. Obi left there without owing any single civil servant, any contractor, any gratuity, any pension. He paid 33 billion naira to clear that. Then he left $150 million, $50 million in Fidelity Bank, $50 million in Access Bank, $50 million in UBA. He left that in coffers of Anambra State, including cash of 15 billion in addition to that. Now, when he left, that is how much he left as a governor. Obi tied 1,200 kilometers of roads in Anambra
And all
State.
the roads are washed away. They are not there now.
No. Let him conclude.
You
Let him
see,
conclude, please.
I am not
You
here
can come
to. I am not here because this is fake news. You understand?
Yes, fake
Uh,
news.
So we
Fake
are not
news,
here.
that's the
It's
real
fake
Soludo
news, you understand?
attests to-
You
attested
see,
Soludo.
Soludo. When a man, you see, I don't want to engage Soludo because
Soludo,
my
okay.
presidential
Please.
candidate has addressed the issue of
Yes,
Soludo. He
yes.
has told Nigerians that government is a continuum.
It's a continuum,
So when he
yes.
stopped, let Soludo continue.
Continue.
So what is the
Uh-huh.
Buhari
So
government
if the
doing?
so
And
if Obi
the
third
APC
roads,
continue.
because
Chidinma,
Obi if
hold
Obi
on.
third
I'm
roads,
holding
if Obi third roads and those roads are cracked now, let Soludo go and patch it. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Now, but he tarred 1,200 kilometers of roads. You understand? Do you know what is 1,200 kilometers? Now, he built bridges, and he bought buses for all the secondary schools and primary schools in Anambra State. Obi gave scholarship. Under him, education in Anambra State was grade A. Anambra State started taking first in WAEC, in NECO, until Obi left that place. And they were 23 in ranking when he became governor. And he brought it to number 1. They rated number 1. Obi got prize from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Obi got prize from United Nations. So what are we dealing with? This is a man whose sense of prudence has never been controverted by anybody.
Thank you
Look,
very
let me
much,
tell you why
Barrister.
Nigeria is like this. People plunder our wealth unnecessarily.
Thank you very much,
This man is a prudent
We have
person.
little time to go. Let's
Can't
say-
we? Can't we?
People
Can't we?
People
Thank
plan
you.
and that is
Thank
16
you,
years of
Barrister.
PDP government.
man-
No.
I'm still coming.
I mean,
I'm still
Emma,
let's
let
not
me
go
tell you,
to
her
the number of
presidential
years.
candidate has never done any business in this world. He became senator. He finished being a senator. He became governor. Now he's the richest man in Nigeria after Aliko Dangote.
That's not true.
How can you own a private? How can you work in Diwan? He worked in Mumbai as a consultant. And that was how he bought a private jet.
I will end the program if you don't.
Okay, you should come out and line his other business to you.
I will end the program.
You
will air your voice. You will air your voice. Please, one
presidential candidate of the APC owns a private jet, and no one is asking someone who has never done a business. Peter Obi, before he became governor of Anambra, was chairman of 3 banks.
Thank you, Barrister Ken.
3 banks.
Thank you, Barrister Ken. That's okay. You have.
He has never done a business. He owns a private jet, and you're telling me how he has built men. Built men with what? With bare knuckles.
Okay,
he built men with stolen wealth.
I'll take you up. Please, let's hold on from there. That is hate speech, Barrister Ken.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ms. Chidinma,
He
please.
talked about Peter Obi works in Anambra as a governor.
Yes.
These are the little things he attests that he did.
Yes. The
Now we are
little things you call gratuity payment little things.
He said he did later. These are little things. We have many. The Buhari administration gave out bailout to governors. He did not discriminate both the PDP and APC when he came on board, and they cleared. So you can
cleared the gratuities with the bailouts.
The bailout for it's not only gratuity and other development. Now we're talking about sustainable antecedent. Asiwaju started the initiative of Free WAEC and NECO for both indigenous and non-indigenous in Nigeria, and it's still here.
In Nigeria?
In Lagos, sorry. It's in Lagos, not Nigeria, and they are still here. Asiwaju initiated Lekki Free Trade Zone, and we have Lekki Seaport now. You're talking about sustainable. You're not telling me you build, okay, the investment.
Remember that Asiwaju started them and some people built on them.
Thank you.
That's sustainability. He is saying that the new leaders should build on.
Do you know why people did not build on Peter Obi's antecedent? Because they are next to nothing. Soludo came out to attest to it. The investment he invested in in Anambra is next to nothing. Wow. They are not there.
He invested.
He invested, but what's the output? What's the input? What's the benefit to Anambra people? It's a lie because it's fake news. It's not fake news. Soludo cannot come out. I will address it. Soludo cannot come out and give fake news. If you're telling me,
don't say that. Don't say that. Ms. Chidinma, don't say that.
Because
anybody can give fake news as far as politics is concerned. No, anybody.
Soludo's letter is not fake news. He gave the bitter truth which people did not want to hear. And you know what started it? Because the Ombide movement is all about abuse, insult. They are the originators of fake news and hate speech. I'm not saying you hiding my mouth, because do you know how they dissected the family of Soludo? Because he came to channels and said that the investment of Peter Obi is next to nothing. And a probe is ongoing on Peter Obi's administration in Anambra, right? Currently, it's ongoing. And the part 2 of that letter is coming out to tell Nigerians the bitter truth.
Is there no probe about Senator Ahmed Tinubu too?
There is no probe because
so all those ones we see in the papers are fake news.
These are fake news. They are fake news and hate speeches.
Okay. Yes, Barrister Ken.
You see, thank you so much. You see, you've made me forget what I wanted to talk about. Because there was something she said here that got me thinking.
So Peter Obi's structures are not sustainable. That's why.
Especially the roads that are washed away, investments.
You see, yes, I want to talk about investments. You see, there is something that we are losing sight of. Let me tell her something about investment, because let me use the opportunity to even educate Nigerians on this issue of the investment. Peter Obi invested 1.9 billion naira. Note it, 1.9999 billion.
Almost 2 billion.
Yeah, almost 2 billion, 1.9 billion. In have you written that? Yes. The name of that brewery is called African Brewery. Is a conglomerate. Is a global chain. Is part of a brewery company in Belgium called Indev. He invested 1.9 billion naira there. He invested that money in naira. Now, when he did that investment, that was when he was still governor. That money in dollar was $12 million, because naira had big value then. 1.9 billion. where he did it when around 2012, 13. Then dollar was trading at 150 something, 160. Now that the equivalent of 1.9 billion naira then was $12 million. Just listen to how Soludo is confusing Nigerians with numbers. Now, see, that investment today, this is by the admission of the Commissioner for Finance, Anambra State, current Commissioner for Finance under Soludo. He said that investment is now worth 2.2 billion in naira. He invested 1.9 billion. It is now worth 2.2 billion in naira. But that investment, that 2.2 billion naira in naira, has, if you convert it to dollar today now, it is now 3.something billion naira, 3.something million dollars. You understand? Because of the depreciation of naira against the dollar. Can you see where they are saying is what next to nothing? Can you see it? Can you see that? Can you see that? That investment appreciated. That investment appreciated in naira. Because invested it in naira, but depreciated in dollars. Who do we hold responsible? Federal government bad management of the economy has depreciated naira against dollar, and that was what affected that investment. This same thing affected Aliko Dangote's business. That Aliko Dangote crashed from $26 billion that the net worth and crashed down to about 18 billion because his investments are in naira. His cement factories are collecting naira. His investments are in naira. Aliko Dangote now crashed to 16 billion. In short, at a time he crashed to about 8 billion and started rising again to about 16 billion where he is now. So people are just becoming economical with the truth. So that investment that P2B put up in Anambra, you understand, appreciated by about 2 billion. Thank you. From 1.9 billion to 2.2 billion, more than 300 million naira in appreciation. Now, the last time I checked, Professor Charles Soludo was a special advisor to this president on economy. I hope you know, he was a member of the economic team of this government that advised this government on how to manage the economy. And they managed the economy until dollar became 800. Just before he was sworn in about 3 months ago, he was a member of this economic team of this government that took dollar to where it is today. He's the reason why that investment crashed. He should be held responsible.
Thank you, Barrister.
Now, when we talk about the crash of the investment, even P2B acknowledge that it's global inflation that.
That's what he's saying.
No, I'm trying to lay him down to what happened to our naira, why we are here, and why we are trying to bring it back. It's not easy.
And is it sustainable?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be sustainable because a lot of work is being put in place to achieve it. So when we came into the government, we met recession. And that recession led up to COVID-19 pandemic. I will keep on if people that are reasonable, we understand it. And here we are coming out from global inflation, in which P2B himself acknowledged. So what happened to our naira is not the federal government. We should not hold it responsible. But the federal government tried to retain it and bring it back, to crash it down to where it is today. The only legacy of P2B in Anambra is Hero, the brewery. He wants us to drink and drink to stupor. Yeah, I'm still coming to that. P2B made our IGR at a certain amount of money and just added like 2 billion to it. I see what you made Lagos IGR at a certain amount and
what's the certain amount?
It's like 8 point something billion. I might not be correct, so I will not give a specific amount, and people will carry it out there.
You said just
it added like 2 billion to the IGR before he left office. That's P2B. Yes. Like the IGR he met, he added like 2 billion to it. Yes. And I see what you the IGR he met in Lagos, he added like times 50 of it, 800 and something billion. He left a Lagos IGR. So when you're talking about people that understand governance and administration, you're talking about people that have the experience. Simply put, P2B doesn't have the experience. He needs to go and build himself and go back to the drawing board and come back. Thank you.
Where did you get 800 and something billion?
That's the real fact. Check it. Check statistics sense. And also, before I forget, I remembered that P2B made the poverty rate of Anambra State at 25 and left us at 53. It's there. The data is there.
You see,
go and check it. Let's not stop her.
Asiwaju
Okay.
Yes, Asiwaju met Lagos IGR at 1.5 billion, took it to 7.5 billion. Now,
800 and something billion.
No, 8 point. No, which 800 and something?
800 and something billion. Yeah, check
no,
it.
now please let's deal with numbers correctly. So he took it to from 1.5 billion to about 7 point something billion, almost 8 billion naira. Then Fashola did his own up to 15 to 16 or thereabout. Ambode took it about to 20 something, where it is about Ambode took it to about 22 to 30 something, where it now oscillates between 42 and 38 now. But that is not even the issue.
That's the issue.
The issue here is after collecting this money, the company that collects this money, by the way, is Alpha Beta. It's a company owned by Tinubu. He collects.
Go to CAC and check who owns Alpha Beta. It's not as Asiwaju.
He collects.
Tomorrow morning, go to any CAC and check. That's fake news and hate speech.
I have said that. I have said
that's what is out there, and Nigerians are believing it. It's fake news.
Can you just relax?
Go to CAC.
Can you just relax? This is not a personality clash.
Meanwhile, okay, let me withdraw it.
Yes.
Okay, but we know that Alpha Beta collects the
it's not the owner.
I don't know.
It's not the owner.
But Nigerians know. If you call
because you gave them the fake news.
Nigerians know. If you put Amungida now, you sabi. So, but you see, the issue here is after collecting 42 billion naira every month, and you don't have pipe-borne water, and there are no classrooms in Lagos State, there are no computers in those classrooms, and you don't have security in Lagos, and Lagos State does not have drainage system, then there's no electricity in Lagos State. What are you doing with the 42
That's
billion?
Fake news.
You're just collecting
Lagos
42
security
billion
is up to them.
and that you're sharing amongst a cartel.
When it comes to flooding about Lagos, it's about the geographical setting of Lagos. And someone who is trying his best of recent thousands of classroom work is already put in place by the Sanwo-Olu government and put in place by Asiwaju.
You don't have the floor.
Okay.
You don't have the floor.
But that's fake news.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on this program. Finally, I'd want you to send a word or two to the public, to your supporters out there, appealing to them to avoid hate speech and fake news. Anything that is hate speech, anything. We are civil people in this society, and as such, we should act civil. So let's appeal to our supporters. Avoid fake news. A news you are not sure of, you don't spread it. You don't share it. And avoid hate speech. Each of you have defended yourselves in one way or the other, and somehow you have entangled yourselves in one way or the other into the fake news and the hate speech.
Yes.
So please tell your supporters. In few words, we have less than 3 minutes to go on this program.
My appeal to Labour Party supporters is that they should avoid hate speech.
Thank you.
They should avoid spreading of fake news.
Thank you.
But when they see news that is credible, they should spread it.
Yes.
When they identify that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the owner of Alpha Beta, they should say it for Nigerians to know.
No, they are not sure.
If they verify and they are sure, let them say it for Nigerians
and
to
if
know.
They are not,
if they verify and they know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu forfeited $460,000 in US in 1993
He was never convicted
on drug related charges. If they verify that, they should spread it.
Thank you,
if they verify that the real name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is Yekini Amoda Ogunlere, and that he is from Iyabiji in Osun State and not from Lagos, they should spread it.
Thank you, Barrister. Ms. Chidima, please talk to your supporters. Let's about fake news and hate speech in just 1 minute.
Okay, I'll encourage every progressive out there to keep the fire burning. We are winning this race. Our track records are there to speak for us. What the Buhari administration is doing, and with the track record of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Senator Keshim Shettima, is going to get us to the victory. And let's keep debunking and rebooting all the fake news they are putting out there. Let's make sure we get our facts out there, because they are all known for fake news and hate speech. Then how we encourage institutions, the federal government, to be proactive in tracking down these fake news peddlers.
Thank you very much.
1 or 2 scapegoats we make everybody to go back and sit up
Yes.
and understand that the government is active to deal with them.
Thank you very
And
much.
okay.
Miss Chidinma.
To summarize it,
Thank you very
mainstream
much.
media, everybody should be cautious. Shun fake news.
Thank you
shun
very
hate
much,
speech.
Ms.
Thank you very
Chidinma.
much, Nigerians.
I can see that you are very, very passionate about
Yeah, I'm passionate about the
this.
support
Both
because
of
it
you are-
worth it.
Both of you are passionate
worth it. It
about
worth
it.
the support.
Each
That's why I
person
want the
have
support.
each person have a reason for tilting towards where they are.
Yeah.
So everybody has a right to their beliefs. So
Exactly.
thank you very much, Barrister Ken Asogua from the Labour Party, and Ms. Chidinma Makwachuku from the APC. We are
Thank
very
you.
grateful having you on this program. We hope
You're
to have
welcome.
more of you as time goes on, as we move closer to the election. We hope to have more of you. Please come and talk to your supporters on this station at a token. We don't take too much, just very little. It's not a fake news, it's the fact. Thank you very much for coming. This is Main Issues. We've been on it for the past 1 hour. We've been having a jaw. We've been having arguments here and there. We've been dragging ourselves. We are friends and we remain
Of course,
friends.
you're friends.
No party can separate us. Thank you very much for watching us. Stay tuned. By tomorrow, we'll be on air again. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
for coming.
Party?
You didn't allow me to greet everybody. You just took me off. I should say thank you to.
Let's take picture. Let me remember my embarrassment.